Good morning and afternoon, everybody. It's David Schlotthauer here with an urgent update on catastrophic category 4 Hurricane Milton for October the 7th, 2024. Please seek official info for the latest information regarding this live stream because all of this is based on my thoughts and mine alone. And making any decisions, please again consult the National Hurricane Center and your local officials for the latest information. All right, that includes the National Hurricane Center, the Weather Channel, and to name others out there. All right, so this has been a very, very unfortunate situation over the last 24 hours since my last live stream. Actually, less than that because I went live yesterday afternoon, and we were only talking about more of a low grade Category 1 hurricane. That has changed in a very big hurry this morning. We have now a very powerful Category 4 hurricane with 155 mile an hour winds. And in the last few frames, we actually have the eye that is clearing and warming, suggestive that this has continued to intensify further. So this could be a Category 5 hurricane in the next Recon pass. Does not surprise me. The pressures could be a lot lower than what I'm about to show you. And there's also been quite a bit, there's been quite a bit of lightning also occurring within this system. If we take a look at the latest lightning coverage map here, we can see that there's a big thick ring. You could even make it out here. So this is where the eye actually this is offset because of the satellite viewing angle, since this is the GLM based, but we can see all these lightning strikes indicating that the system is extremely intense and it is continuing to intensify. We just got another lightning strike in there. This morning, we had a pretty big barrage of lightning similar to this, with up to even 1,000 lightning strikes in an hour on this system, which means the system is it's still explosively intensifying. Now, what does this look like on the satellite imagery on the visible? You can see that in the last few frames, the eye is becoming more apparent with that whirlpool structure, and you can see right there, the last frame, it looks like you could even see below that cirrus filament. Now, this is one of those hurricanes that may not have an entirely clear, cloudless center. The eye with this system is extremely small and perhaps only 5 to almost 10 miles across. Actually, probably only 5 miles across. So this is a very, very compact system. In fact, it's hard to even believe this is even a Category 4 hurricane because, I mean, you just go immediately away from this central dense overcast, you're seeing low-end or mid-grade tropical storm force winds. But yet, when you get into this eyewall, you're seeing almost or probably Category 5 intensity winds on this. So this is Scorpio Reef. That's what this little island up here is. I later figured that out after doing some research. Here's the Yucatan Peninsula. And the question really remains, can this move into the Yucatan Peninsula? If it does, this would bring catastrophic impacts, but also I shouldn't say better news if not, that this could disrupt the center after the passing over the northern Yucatan. And so if this does hit the Yucatan and then launches back out, the system might be a little disrupted and hopefully enough to where it cannot re-strengthen if it did this. Now, if this system passes, say, like this far, I mean, even this far from the Yucatan, that eyewall and the inner core structure would remain intact, fully intact, and additional strengthening would be possible even after the Yucatan Peninsula. I mean, based on what we've seen so far, this could have even a much higher ceiling than what we've seen. And the fact that this has outpaced Wilma, back in, I'll have to look up the history, the NHC did provide it, but the fact that it's outpacing some of the two most historic hurricanes is pretty alarming, and it does not surprise me if this does end up becoming one of those hurricanes similar to those two. with winds possibly over 165 miles an hour. In fact, this one has the look for me that could get stronger than Beryl, possibly 170, 180 miles an hour in about 24 to maybe 36 hours. So looking at the, looking at the windy.com, you can see a very, very symmetrical CDO on this, and cloud tops surrounding the entire system here are negative 115, negative almost 120. The eye wall is a little cooler. It doesn't look like that because of the satellite viewing angle, but the eye wall is extremely cold with cloud tops colder than negative 80 Celsius. And when we take a look at the center here, the eye has really warmed up in the last 30 minutes or so. It's now negative 35 Fahrenheit, which means that this eye is really warming in a hurry here. And the warmer the eye is, the stronger the system typically actually ends up being. So we are, okay, it looks like the Recon mission has turned around. So they are not going to attempt to fly through the eye. That goes to show you how serious this actually is. They are actually just hanging around, milling around out here. They are not flying into the system because of how strong this actually is. So this is the latest Recon mission right now, showing us in its fixes. I actually have a snapshot here. So this is kind of not the latest because the plane is here, but what we have here is a remarkable, this is remarkable, folks, in a 3-hour fix. So pass 1, pass 2, pass 3, and of course it shows us the location of the system, but remarkable. Look at the pressure here. 947 goes to 943. And look at this. This is almost a 10 millibar drop in pressure in a 1-hour period. That's a very rapid. And the fact that it's actually more rapid between these two passes is pretty concerning. And actually, I would not be surprised if this is a Category 5 in the next advisory. I think they're probably going to do it. The fact that the eye is warming, they're probably going to go Cat 5 in the next advisory with this. But regardless if it's a Cat 5 or not, this is a catastrophic hurricane by all means, with pressures down to 933, 935 millibars. So looking at the latest National Hurricane Center here, as you can see, this will be a major hurricane. Well, it's already a major. It's a super hurricane perhaps at this point. Hurricane warnings are issued for the northern Yucatan, and do I rarely say this? Please get prepared for catastrophic, unsurvivable impacts, especially if the eye wall or the southern eye wall skirts or moves over the Yucatan. This could be tornadic-like wind damage that you have not seen in a long, long time. And then additional strengthening, possibly up to a Category 5, or likely up to a Category 5 would occur over here. Once this leaves the Yucatan, we are forecasting additional strengthening, even after the passing just to the north of the Yucatan. And this will be a major hurricane, possibly a Category 4 hurricane at landfall. All right. This is as worse of a dire of a situation you can possibly get with a hurricane like this. And boy, if this holds together even just a little bit more, this could be much stronger than just a Category 3 with 125 mile an hour winds. Could be as strong as 150 miles an hour at landfall. We are expecting some weakening to take place, so there is a pretty good sure bet of that, but how much weakening takes place is to be announced. But right now, what I'm about to show you on our latest models, it has really come down. We're not seeing much in the way of weakening as much as what we thought for right now. That could change in a hurry, but because this is outperforming all the forecasts right now, it is very hard to say on how strong this will get. But we do know that this will be a hurricane across the entire state. So it's going to make the whole entire crossing here as a hurricane. So yes, if you're in Deaton, if you are in Tampa Bay, this is going to be a catastrophic. If you're in Orlando, Florida, you need to get prepared right now. Get prepared. I can't tell you to evacuate because I'm not the federal government here, but what I can tell you right now, based on experience of tracking these systems, this is a system to not mess with at all. And actually, if it is going to be one of those worst case scenarios, this would be one of them on this name right here. Milton could be the new, I shouldn't say because it's too soon to say, but could be the new Katrina, based on one, it's impacting Tampa. It's a very densely populated area. And two, it could be almost a Category 4 hurricane, which, by the way, I think Katrina made landfall over here in the Pensacola, Florida area as a Category high in 3. And look how destructive that was. Something that hits Tampa happens once every 100 to 200 years. So yeah, this is going to be making history at an unfortunate scale. And I just pray, folks, I really pray for you that you can literally get prepared for this. As simple as putting everything in your car. So just pack everything up right now. Your documents, anything that is important to you, pack up and put in the car. So when it is time to evacuate, based on your local officials, you can get out and get out now. Don't wait. Do not wait last minute for this, all right? And I don't care that, oh, this is going to be a Cat 3, David. It's not going to be a Cat 5 at least. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. The impacts are going to be serious, regardless of intensity. Actually, possibly catastrophic at this given point, because it's impacting a populated area. So now looking at the most likely arrival time of tropical storm force winds, this is as of the 10 o'clock advisory from the National Hurricane Center. And as you can see here, there is now nearly a 90% chance or even 100% chance that the Tampa Bay area, Sarasota, Florida, I don't want to forget about you all. You are under a hurricane watch. So if we go back and look at this, you're under a hurricane watch. And look at this, even Key West, portions here, far Key West, Florida, under a hurricane watch. So just to show you folks, I mean, this is going to grow in size pretty quickly. And you might think that, oh, it's so tiny now. It's going to interact with that trough and the wind field will grow as the system is still deepening. And that's what we don't want to have. Tropical storm watches in yellow over here, north and south of the hurricane watch area. Okay. And this would be one of those times that the entire state here has a hurricane, or not the entire state, but the entire central portion of Florida is under a hurricane warning later on. All right. So now, again, we looked at this. So the arrival time of those winds would be Wednesday morning of tropical storm force. So that means when you get tropical storm force winds, given that this is going to be a fairly, it's going to be broad, but it's going to be kind of still that smallish kind of system. Once you get tropical storm force winds, you're going to have hurricane force winds shortly thereafter. All right. So now I do want to read the key messages from the National Hurricane Center. I know there's a lot of reading that we will be doing today, but at this point, I don't care how long I take because I want to make sure you all get the reliable, important, honest information about this hurricane. All right. So damaging hurricane force winds are expected across portions of the northern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula. A life-threatening storm surge with damaging winds. Thank you for the $100 donation, The Guardian. Wow, you guys got to give him a round of applause. Seriously, say thank you to him, everybody. Literally, thank you for the $100 donation. There is an increasing risk of life-threatening storm surge and damaging winds for portions of the west coast of Florida Peninsula beginning Tuesday night or early Wednesday. Storm surge and hurricane watches are now in effect for portions of the west coast of Florida Peninsula, and residents in that area should follow any advice given by local officials and evacuate if told to do so. So if the federal government, while your local officials or the police of your local neighborhood comes around and says, hey, it's time to evacuate, sir, you got to get out, you have to listen to them. I don't know if they give out fines if you refuse. I don't know. I don't think so. But please, please, please heed advice from your local officials. All right. This system has it has the DNA that can cause more destruction and more lives lost than what we had with Helene. Even so, Helene, was not as strong. This will probably be a little weaker, but again, let's compensate that with our densely populated areas like Sarasota, Orlando, St. Pete, as well as Tampa Bay, Florida. This is a very densely populated area. It's not like, oh, this is going to hit the Big Bend and then rapidly weaken. No, this is a different track by a little margin. And again, Tampa needs to be ready. Areas of heavy rainfall will impact portions of the Florida today, well ahead of Milton, with heavy rainfall more directly related to the systems expected later on Tuesday through Wednesday night. This rainfall will bring the risk of considerable flash urban and aerial flooding, along with the potential for moderate to major river flooding. All right, so it's not just about how strong the winds are going to be. This is going to have a lot more impacts. Storm surge, we're talking high surf, possibly up to 30 to 40 feet. We're also talking about, again, the heavy rainfall flooding. The impacts with this, folks, will be life-threatening. We're talking life-threatening impacts. And if this ends up being stronger in Florida or making landfall in Florida, the impacts could be catastrophic, perhaps unsurvivable for a large population. So I don't say that very lightly, but we really need to kind of emphasize how serious this could end up being, because this is outperforming our models already, and this could end up being stronger than what our models are showing at landfall. So looking at the peak storm surge forecast, it's not just 8 to 12 feet of storm surge, but it's 8 to 12 feet of storm surge along a very populated portion of the coast of Florida, all the way from Charlotte Harbor northward through Tampa. If you are in Yankeetown, getting up to maybe 10 feet of storm surge expected with this. All right. Anything in red here is storm surge greater than 12 feet. Greater than 12 feet, folks. All right. And additional increases with the storm surge may be needed in later updates. All right. Later updates. Okay, emergency update from our chat. I'm going to stop my report here, and we're actually going to go in and look. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they have found 174 knots. This could be a Category 5 hurricane. This is not good at all. The Recon mission just found potentially Category 5 force winds. Actually, they did. I think they're going to upgrade this to a Category 5 hurricane, and pressure down to 925. And by the way, that is not the center yet. They have not gotten the center yet. Actually, 924 millibars. Sorry, 924. That's down another 10 millibars. Within an hour, folks, within an hour, we've seen the pressure drop. Remember, it was 935 earlier. Now it's down in 924. That's actually 11 millibars deeper. Never mind, that's 11 millibars deeper. That is quite significant. Actually, probably at all-time record deepening with the system. Right now, there it is. That flag there, 174 knots. Some of our viewers in the chat are saying that. Wow. When you guys said that, I'm like, oh gosh, I got to stop my update. So this is a Category 5. It undoubtedly is a Category 5. Even so, the NHC may not up it. In my eyes, the satellite presentations, this and the pressure of being this low certainly gets this to Category 5 intensity. It's not official yet, but actually, you know what? I wonder if they're going to do an update. I bet you they will. I bet you they will. Once they get the other side, they're probably typing that update up right now. Wow. Also, suspected surface frequency microwave radiometer winds, wow, in the Category 5 intensity. These are now suspected. I don't know what the turquoise exclamation point is. I don't believe it's 176 knots. I would say in the range of about 140 knots at least is where I'm going with this. About 140 knots in the southwestern quadrant of the circulation. But flight level winds, those are believable, potentially, of as high here again as 174 knots. That is really, really bad. And I mean, how much stronger could this get now? We're in stage number 2. Remember what I've told you guys. When does rapid intensification occurs? When it occurs, how long will it last? So we're now waiting to see when will this stop rapidly intensifying. But right now, it is well ahead of the models. In fact, the HAVSB, which is the most aggressive model here, if I could find anything close to that, by the way, we're just going to kind of skip ahead briefly here. So let me go over to the model. If I could find anything as close to this model as I can possible. Okay, let's backtrack here. Oh, wait, no, this is right here. This is around the 8 o'clock hour. If I could find anything closest to this, it'd be the HAVS-B model showing a 947 millibar and a Category 4 hurricane. The system's clearly not a Category 4 anymore. It's probably a Category 5. And the fact that the pressures are already rivaling that versus tonight. I mean, look at the forecast tonight. This is a very old model run, but I picked a lot of the runs, and this is the closest we can get with the current intensity. And it would show this down to 922 millibars by tonight, which is probably a little on the high side, given that we are still continuing to see rapid intensification with this. All right, so this could be generous. And at this point, if we look at our 0Z run, I'm pretty much putting a little more bets on the 0Z run, since it's probably more kind of on stout of what we're seeing. This, excuse me, this could be a 920 millibar system over a Scorpion Wreath. All right, we'll get back to that in just a second. I did want to finish my discussion, and then we will get looking at the models in a hurry here. So again, storm surge up to 12 feet. That's generous given what we're seeing. This could get upgraded a little bit more, and any further upticks will be even more significant. Life-threatening, unsurvivable storm surge, possibly at even historic levels in the Tampa Bay area. So looking at the rainfall forecast, Tampa Bay could see 4 to 6 additional inches of rainfall in some areas here like Jacksonville. Dade, as well as, say, Orlando, could see 4 to 8 inches of additional rainfall. All right, again, you have already had a lot of rainfall falling since yesterday morning. More additional rainfall is expected. So again, while these numbers don't look all that impressive, you got to keep in mind the rain will continue all the way through past landfall, or right after landfall, because all this moisture is streaming in such fashion. All right, I wanted to show you all the storm surge here for the Tampa Bay, since that's where a lot of people live. And I mean, come on, this is not good at all. Like, any population living over here is going to have storm surge greater than 9 to 12 feet. All right, anything in red here on the storm surge map, you could find this at nhc.noaa.gov/refresh/graphics at HTML header 093335. All right, so again, that is nhc.noaa.gov for more information on this. You can go to their thumbnails here on this, and you can click on storm surge inundation. You'll have to acknowledge that this is not really experimental, but please take this with a grain of salt. But look at the population here. Look at how high our storm surge could actually be. And look at the metro area here. This is a big problem. Metro area of Tampa could have up to 9 to 12 feet of storm surge. And then down further south here along the very populated areas could have storm surge greater than 9 feet. All right. And then this continues all the way southward, okay? Glenwood Manor, if you're living down here, actually let me kind of turn down the transparency here. You can see Rotanda, Santa Casa, Eaglewood could see up to maybe 9 feet of storm surge. This is bad, and if this If this deviates a little further north than what the NHC is showing, the storm surge will be even worse for the Tampa area, like St. Petersburg. And look at Marco Island, Everglades. Look at the storm surge down here. This is not the Big Bend from a small hurricane. This is way down here that could get up to 9 feet of storm surge. So this is a entire West Coast Florida threat, including for the Dry Tortugas National Park, Key West, Florida. Doesn't look like much here, but you can see there is some yellow. Let me highlight that, turn up that. You can see storm surge here up to maybe 3 feet above ground. So if you think that Helene was impactful, this could be probably as impactful, if not more impactful. So Port Charlotte, Cape Coral as well. Now, of course, on the other side, storm surge will be a problem for Brunswick, for Jacksonville, Florida, towards the east of Jacksonville, then all the way up the coast into Charleston. So yes, this is in 90% of the Florida area population could be witnessing some kind of storm surge as low as a foot to as high as 12 feet. All right, and 12 feet, again, is generous because based on our current intensity. All right, the update, it is a Category 5. Right like that, folks. We have a Category 5 hurricane. Undescribable from the National Hurricane Center here. 160-mile-an-hour hurricane. And just for reference, the system was not going to become a Category 5 until this afternoon, 0Z. Again, like we talked about, this is running ahead of pace. This is stronger than our forecast has initially thought. And so the question really remains, how strong can this get over the next 36 hours? If this peaked intensity, it would probably do so in the next 24 to 36 hours before it begins to weaken. And again, how quick will the weaken happen? Okay. So again, winds are 100, here's the update. So winds are 160, pressure down to 925 millibars. 925 millibars. That is really, really low, and it's going to get even lower. I'm very sure this has not shown signs of stop of rapid intensification. This could get down to even as low as 910 millibars. I would not be surprised. I mean, think about it. Another 10 millibars lower, this would be 915 millibars. In a couple of hours, this could get down there. So that's why we are probably going to be live actually for a few hours. We're going to be giving you the latest information on this as this is coming in. Back to our flood threat really quickly right now. Major risk of flooding in Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, all densely populated areas, including Miami, Florida. Sarasota, not in, okay, this just came in. Sarasota, very close, could get a major risk of flooding. So pretty much the entire peninsula here has a major risk, except for Lake Okeechobee area. Still under a slight risk for flooding, but still take that seriously because that could get upgraded in later updates. So now that we're at 925 millibars officially, this is definitely outpacing any of the models. This is absolutely terrifying to see on the current intensity. And look how small this thing is. Very small with a well-defined eye. Like, you can't miss that at all. Okay? And so now that I talked about that and I digested a lot of this, yeah, see, winds are almost as strong on the other side of the system. Look at how compact this hurricane actually is, folks. I wanted to really illustrate this. This is hurricane force winds here. This is hurricane force. And look at how compact that is. I mean, look at the pressure drop from 993 millibars all the way down to 926.2 millibars. Well, we got, again, 925 on this at the moment from our aircraft recon mission. I mean, this is just not good news. And actually, the wind plot here, surface frequency microwave radiometer winds, these are not suspect. There's no exclamation points on this. This is 160 knots, almost 160 knots at the surface. These are surface winds. These are not flight level winds at all. So if we go to knots, 2 miles per hour, 100, let me go back to really make sure. Yeah, 159 knots. 159 knots, that's 183 mile an hour winds. That's 100, when you round it down on the NHC, would be 180 mile an hour winds. Wow, remarkable. That is a full 110 mile an hour wind increase since yesterday. Actually, I think this will meet the definition of historic intensity or rapid intensity. All right, so that's what I would not be surprised if we get another update from the NHC and this is actually stronger than 160 at this point. It is very possible because the fact that these are non-suspectable winds is something. So also looking at this too, lots of lightning happening in the circulation. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting from a meteorological standpoint. I mean, I've seen a lot of lightning. I saw it with Ian, I saw it with Beryl, but I've not seen it this intense with a hurricane, with Milton at all. And for reference, lightning is there because the cloud tops, the convection with this hurricane is so intense. It is so intense, folks, that you're getting ice crystals. Think about a supercell. Think about the strongest supercell you can think, well, not the strongest you can think of, but one of the strongest, and you get all that lightning, right? You get a lightning barrage going on. That's what this is illustrating, a lightning barrage in a hurricane, kind of a supercell like lightning barrage happening within this. And there is so much lightning, you could even see the definition here, this ring of lightning strikes occurring in all quadrants. There's no specific quadrant at this point which is stronger or weaker. And at this point, the eye being this warm is quite significant for an eye that is this small. And look at, we just got more lightning in the eye itself. So this is not good. This is not good at all. Probably the strongest hurricane I have tracked at all. The strongest hurricane probably in my career here on YouTube that I've witnessed. And I don't say that very lightly. I'm not saying that to fearmonger, but this is pretty significant by all criteria. This really is. Again, a Cat 5 hurricane. That's the second Cat 5 hurricane, by the way, of the Atlantic hurricane season. Now that it's official, this is the second Category 5 hurricane of the Atlantic hurricane season. And will be the second hurricane to reach Cat 5 to make landfall in a given area. So keep in mind about that too. All right. Do you guys have any questions? We will be live because the Recon mission is going to fly in there again. I'm hoping they will. That was their fourth pass, but I think they're going to. I think they're going to make a run for it again. Because the fact that this is explosively intensifying, we are going to have to provide live updates. We're going to have to provide real-time updates here through at least noon today. Probably, yeah, through at least 11:30, because that's when we'll have all of our models and our hurricane models. Wow, 4,000 people watching this live stream. If you guys are new to the stream, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. For those 4,000 people that are watching, I will be live on this hurricane. I will be live on this hurricane up until landfall. Not today, not tomorrow. Oh, wait. Depending on the actual landfall, what time does this make landfall? All right, Wednesday afternoon or evening, so I would be live by Wednesday morning. This is probably going to be a 15-hour live stream, one of the longest, most historical live streams on the channel. So I'm still live now, but I will be live covering this hurricane as it makes landfall starting early Wednesday morning, probably as early as 5 in the morning on Wednesday. And I will be live all day long. We did it with Helene. I will do it again. I will do this again with with Hurricane Milton. Now, chat is going very fast, so I can't get to all of your guys' questions. But what about Levy County? So Levy County is over here. Right now, based on, actually, let's look at our latest models. You know what? I have not shown you guys this. I should be showing you guys. So as far as the intensity goes, the system is outperforming the models anyways. This is probably a little generous, but we have winds here, category 5 intensity, 119 or 913 millibars. Okay, and look at how strong this gets. 900, actually this is a 0Z run, and probably, yeah, this is probably, yeah, until our new models come in, I'll use the latest run. But you can see actually, you know what? Because it's showing it stronger over here, I'm going to rely on the 0Z run. Not that I'm cherry picking, but again, based on our current intensity, this is as close as we can get. So this does get down to 899 millibars. This could be reality. I don't want to say that, but this could be reality. We only need another 26 millibars to go before this gets into the sub 800s, all right, in millibars, all right. Before that happens, though, look at this, 164, 170 knot winds. This would be 185, 190 mile an hour hurricane. I am not joking when I say that. This would be a historic hurricane in the Gulf like this, and as this continues to move towards the coast, this could hold together a little bit more. But if we look at our 0.6Z now, this is a little stronger, so that's why we have to kind of look between those two runs. But this is showing big time storm surge, this onshore flow in Tampa Bay, Florida. This would be Wednesday night at around 11 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday. So this has been nudged a little sooner. Doesn't look like it's going to be a Thursday morning landfall. Looks to be now debuted for Wednesday night, more like about 11 o'clock. And look at Tampa Bay right here. This is really, really bad. Not good. You would get hurricane force wind gusts, by the way, because if we look at our low-level winds, still hurricane force over the entire state of Florida, including on the northern side, because this is going to interact with a frontal boundary. And this moves over central Florida and then exits there by Thursday morning and then kind of gets absorbed. But what a historic system this is going to be, potentially up until landfall, depending on how strong this is going to get. Now, there's a worst case scenario, and this is showing that this is, let me actually see. So yeah, the H-Wharf would probably be the worst case scenario here, showing a major hurricane at landfall. This could still, again, the NHC is a little higher than the models right now, showing 125 at landfall by Wednesday night. But you can see, look at this onshore flow butting up against the coast here of Florida, including Tampa Bay. I mean, you thought Helene brought some storm surge. This could bring in extreme storm surge. And look at the pressure on this. This is only 946, and this is a major hurricane. 125 mile an hour winds at landfall. And this really holds together a little bit more on the H-Wharf model. But again, it's all about, if we just go back and look at the HAVS-B model. All right, when does this inner core erode? That is the big question mark right now. And everybody, I would be absolutely concerned. My heart would probably be racing if I lived in Tampa Bay, because my computer, of course, I care about my computer here. And boy, if I lose my computer, it's going to be hard to do YouTube stuff, right? Thank goodness I don't live in Tampa for this event. I don't want to even experience something like this. And instead, I do live in California. But what I'm saying is also that when does this inner core erode? If this erodes later rather than earlier, this could end up being a much more significant situation. And by the way, this is 933 millibars through Wednesday afternoon. So technically speaking, this could end up still being a strong Cat 4 hurricane, possibly a mid to high-end Cat 4 hurricane. And which, by the way, 933 millibars is stronger than Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Ian at this given point. I'm not really focused on the winds. I'm more interested in the central pressure, and it's 933 millibars here. Thank you, Lake Trother, for the $5 donation. Thank you for becoming a member. Mup King, thank you for becoming a member. So what we have here is a very strong system, and look at this could theoretically, look at right here, could still remain a Cat 4. I mean, look how far that is away from Tampa. Not very far, not very far at all. So again, when does that inner core, when does this gradually begin to weaken as it moves on shore, is a huge question mark at this point. All right, that's going to be the thing. It's already a Cat 5 hurricane. How long will it be a Cat 5 for without an eyewall replacement cycle? Boy, at this point, if we can get an eyewall replacement cycle, that will weaken the system a little bit. But if we don't get an eyewall replacement cycle anytime soon, it's just going to get stronger, I'm afraid. I think this could make a run for the sub 800s in millibar central pressure. That would be, we would have not seen a hurricane like that since, I think, Allen or Wilma, one of those. I would have to look them up. By the way, their discussion does illustrate that. In fact, if we look down here, yeah, right here in their discussion, I did want to read this because I know you guys don't like me reading, but this is some important information. They do go through and look at the history here. So, yeah, the initial wind speed is set to 135 knots, which is a 80 knot increase in 24 hours. Only eclipsed, which means it went over Wilma in 2005 and Felix in 2007 in our records. So, in other words, Wilma, let's see how strong Wilma was. Hurricane Wilma was a Cat 5 hurricane, but how low was the pressure? So Hurricane Wilma. So if we look at Hurricane Wilma really quickly, yeah, look at how low the pressure got. 980 or 882 millibars. 882 and 185 mile an hour winds. And does this match or not? Well, of course, the CDO was more expansive, but does this kind of look similar to with what we're seeing? Look how small that eye is. Very small eye. And that's what we're seeing with this system. Small eye, Cat 5 hurricane. And that is why I am really concerned about this. This could get stronger than Dorian in terms of central pressure and wind speeds. It doesn't surprise me. It really, really doesn't. And that is why we have to take all seriousness. I don't care if I fearmonger or not at this time. I'm fearmongering this system because this can kill people. This could absolutely kill people. And we just got a new sounding. Oh man. Here's the vertical sounding in the northeastern eyewall. Thank you, Richard, for the $10 donation. Look at this. Flight level winds here up to 160 knots. Actually, I think... Oh, no, this is in the... Wait. What part of the system is this? Okay, this is not the latest then. Hold on. Let me... Oh, that is the latest. Okay. Interesting that the winds really curve around like that. trying to, I think, okay, so this might be the latest one right here. So this would be, yeah, this probably more, yeah, this is the latest dropsonde. I wanted to make sure I got that correctly. Yeah, this is right here, meets the definition, solid Cat 5 winds. Not far above the surface either. When this dropsonde was released, you go up to 943 millibars, which is very close to the surface. You get 140-ish knot winds. That's about 160, 165 mile an hour winds at that level. All right, and it gets really strong, 160 knots, which is at flight level that they got. So, yeah, this is a solid Category 5 hurricane. I'm pleased. I hope they do another pass in the center. I really, really hope. I don't. Maybe they will. They will do it again. Because they're going to have to go in again, and I'm hoping they do one more pass, and then they'll exit out before the next mission. Maybe they're going to start releasing more aircraft into this. Doesn't surprise me. But yeah, the pressure has dropped 10 millibars, which by the way, I wanted to illustrate this. So right here with these two passes, that's 4 millibars difference. So between pass 1 and pass 2, that's 4 millibar drop. And then between pass 2 to pass 3, pressure has dropped 8 millibars. Now the pressure has dropped 10 millibars between the last pass. From the third to the fourth, pressure has dropped 10, which means the intensification rate is actually speeding up. It's actually increasing. So if you think about a rapidly intensifying system, this is explosively intensifying. Pressure getting down to 925 millibars. 925 millibars. 10 millibar drop in pressure in an hour. In 1 hour, we've seen, actually, if you go to millibars really quickly, millibars to, so that would be 10 millibars. That's not going to speak for it very well. Actually, that would be like 0.5, 0.4 inches in mercury, something like that. That's pretty wild. So again, the last pass between these two fixes, from fix 3 to fix 4, pressure has dropped 10 millibars. The fastest so far this mission. And look at all the lightning still going on with this. And yes, wow, look at that eye. Definitely warmer now. Yeah, as warm as negative 10 degrees. I wonder what the RAL is showing, what the Doverick estimates are. I bet you they're not as intense as this, aren't they? No, they're not. However, raw T numbers up to 7 do illustrate that, though. So raw T numbers, that's 140 knots even. So that is a Cat 5 hurricane, even on a satellite intensity estimate. That's remarkable. That is remarkable intensity right there. So even a Cat 5, even from the advanced Doverick technique, which uses algorithms to estimate the intensity of a hurricane. Oh yeah, look at the eye now. Look at how clear it is. It's really clearing right now. This is not good. This is not good at all. And yeah, look at, actually, it is completely clear. Look at this. It is sky blue down to the surface now. Sky blue. The cirrus. Now, this is at a little bit of an angle, but what you're seeing here is the eye-like future like this, and it's you can see some vertical depth with it. Because this is, again, viewing it at a little bit of an angle, but we can see the eye wall. The eye is completely clearing right now. Very clear eye wall at the moment. And we go to our, and that's why the infrared here is not very accurate. It's a lot warmer than this. I can just Put just bet on this. Just believe me, it's because when you get a sky blue eye, that means pretty much it is extremely warm through that column. So this could be a lot warmer than what satellite estimates are showing right now, because again, they're viewing this at an angle, and this is such a small eye that there's, you can see, you can kind of look at the side of it almost at an angle. By the way, we could track this now since the eye is cleared out, and it looks like it has now moved. It's moving more directly due east. Directly due east right now, and you can see this is in real time, by the way, and look how vigorous this convection is all the way around. It's super, super vigorous all the way around. Just all the way around. It's very symmetrical. There's no shear on this at all. In fact, you can see the gravity waves. Look at the gravity waves emanating out from this. You can see the gravity waves right here. And this is a sign, it's like a whirlpool, and that is a sign we have intense, vigorous convection. Gravity waves in a hurricane like this, and you can see in the recent trends that eye really has cleared. This eye really has cleared. And if we look at it a little closer, the clearing is more visible than it was even just a little bit ago. So the trends here do suggest that this is still intensifying. And take note, our winds are doing this on this side. So that's why this is, again, at an angle. And the eye is probably about 70 to 74 degrees in Fahrenheit right now. Much warmer than what the infrared is actually showing. Wow, it's just incredible. And when you look at this again, and looking at the movie, you know what this really reminds me of? And I don't want to say it, but Hurricane Dorian. Only Dorian had a little larger eye. Actually, the eye was a lot bigger with Dorian. But you can just see, again, these are 1 minute updates on the satellite. As high resolution in real time you can get. And just, you could even follow it. Look how fast these winds are. Watch this. You can see the winds going like this. Look how fast they are just spinning right now. Probably 2 or 3 revolutions an hour. Actually, no, probably like 30 or about 20 or 30 revolutions an hour. So, wow. Yeah, Julie and everybody that is reminding me, this is a Category 5 hurricane. This is the second Category 5 hurricane this year. And look at our named storms, folks. We did not have to get to 31 named storms to get to Cat 5 hurricanes like we did in, I don't even think, yeah, in 2012. Oh my. See, my years of hurricanes are mixed up. Let me actually, we had I think 2 Cat 5 hurricanes in 2020, did we? Let's see. No, we didn't. We did not have any Cat 5 hurricanes in 2020. See, there was so many named storms that year, you just cannot even fathom. So, yeah, 2 Cat 5 hurricanes this year, despite lesser named storms. It's the quality over quantity type deal here. It really is. Yep. Justin, dude, what are you thinking about this, dude, with this hurricane? 10 millibar drop in pressure. 10 millibars in an hour, dude. 60 minutes. 60 minutes. Pressure drops 10 millibars. Assuming that we don't get an eyewall replacement cycle, which there are on set, which there are on set, 6 to 12 hour signs, we are going to see an upper echelon storm, which reaches the bounds of what is possible in this part of the basin. Whoa! Wait, there's not an eyewall replacement cycle imminent, is there? It doesn't look like it. The system is still rapidly intensifying. So I want to make it clear on this. Justin said, assuming we don't get an eyewall replacement cycle, which there are... I don't even know what you mean by that, but assuming we don't get an eyewall replacement cycle, I'll just stop there. We are going to be seeing an upper echelon storm, which reaches the bounds of what is possible in this part of the basin. And it could be 185, 190 mile an hour hurricane. Wow. And look at the recent frames now. Look at this convection right here. Very, very, very vigorous. Very, very vigorous here on the southeastern quadrant. Man. Wow, dude. Wow. Again, that's my estimate. If we do not get an eyewall replacement cycle in about 12 hours, this has a ceiling of 180 plus miles an hour. It's no longer a hurricane, but a massive tornado. At this point, yeah, one could even argue that. It is small. All right, Justin, thank you for tuning in, buddy. What's up, Diana? How are you doing? Can this break a record? I'm not going to go that far and say it's going to break a record. As far as one of the latest Cat 5 hurricanes, yes, potentially. But as far as intensity goes, we're not going to go that far. We are not going to go that far right now. At this point, I don't want to assume that this is going to reach 195 miles an hour because we don't know yet. We don't even know that. And I'm not forecasting that because at this point, it doesn't matter. It does not matter how strong this gets. It's a Cat 5, and a Cat 5 is a catastrophic hurricane. It is catastrophic. And zooming out, look at that. I mean, as clear as day as it can be. But yeah, how's everybody doing? I hope... Hopefully you're not stressed out. You're not, like, in a panic attack mode. We don't want that. I just hope you guys are not stressing out over this system. I'll tell you, I'm not going to do well at work today. I'm just saying right now, because now I'm going to be fixated on this system. This is such a system that, I mean, it's bad. It's just plain on bad. Don't be scared, be prepared. Exactly. Joey, I did give money to the American Red Cross after Helene. Yes, I did. I donated. Oops. I did donate $500+ to the American Red Cross in wake of Hurricane Helene for the repair efforts over there. So, yes, the donations from that stream, half of that did go towards the American Red Cross. So, yeah. And we'll more than likely do that this time with this next hurricane because it's looking very significant. Let's see what this looks like now on the infrared. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's clear. That is clear, dude. Man, that eye is warming up. That eye is definitely warming up. Wow, jeez. It does and it does look like a tornado. Look at that. You can see it right here. Definitely looks like a tornado look to the system. You can see the cloud tops, and they are cool. They are warming. They are definitely warming. Which, by the way, an eyewall replacement cycle with this system would complete pretty quickly since the system is pretty small. So just keep that in mind. An eyewall replacement cycle might only mean good news in the short term, but the system could really recover quickly after that. But look at this. You can see how that is intensifying. That eye is warming up. Man, geez Louise. You know what this reminds me of? A typhoon in the Western Pacific. It really does. It has that symmetrical appearance. Very symmetrical appearance. See what the latest Recon mission shows now. Okay, they're not making it their way into the center yet. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like the 3D on this. Yeah, you can see it from an angle. So this is how the satellite is viewing the system right now. It's kind of viewing it at an angle, so that's why the cloud tops are the way they are. Or the eye temperature. But the eye, I'll tell you what right now, if it's sky blue, the eye is a lot warmer than what infrared is showing. 100%. Halves B starting to come in. All right, we'll look at the halves B. But yeah, look at the 3D on this. Okay, my alarm went off. I set my alarm this morning to wake up late, at night, what I normally do. But I got so much notifications on Discord that I was like, man, why am I getting so many notifications? And then I wake up to seeing something like this. So that's probably what the notifications were all about. But yeah, look at this. What this looks like on 3D. Three-dimensional, folks. Pretty incredible. It's a little eye, like a little tornado. You can see the deeper cloud tops now. So the halves B is starting to come in. Let's see what the halves B is showing. Oh, golly word. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is not good. 905 millibars by Monday early afternoon. Which, again, actually, wow, that is 14 millibar drop in pressure. Actually, 13 millibar drop in pressure. So it is illustrating the current intensity of this system. It is expected to turn more east and then more east-northeast later on. It should miss the Yucatan based on this latest model. But it is further south. But wow, look at that. Look at that trend right there. Huge difference. Not an eye, but more like a belly button. Oh, I did not even realize that. Yeah, it does look like a little belly button. Man, look at that. That thing. Shoot. Yeah, the eye temperature now is 10 degrees Fahrenheit above zero. It has warmed up pretty substantially. Pretty substantially. Uh, 897 millibars. 897 millibars. There it goes. That's 12 hours, by the way, from now. 12-hour forecast. Sub 800s. Sub 800s. And winds estimated here because of the pressure would be about 170 knots. Now, the winds are not going to be modeled very well, but based on the pressure to the gradient, winds could be 170 knots here. Winds could be 170 knots, which knots to miles per hour. So 170 knots is 195 miles an hour. Thank you for the $10 donation, Hala Shock. It is safe to evacuate. Is it safe to evacuate to Ocala? I'm in Fort Myers Beach now. Not safe here. I would move inland, of course, but the flood threat. The flood threat is going to be something to take note of. Now, I want to make it clear that this does weaken dramatically, maybe possible due to an eyewall replacement cycle. That's a possibility, but it is deeper. It is deeper than the last model run, which actually, I don't even understand how the winds are weaker on this, despite the pressure being down. That's why I'm adding like literally 30 knots to this. So this would be about 150, 160 knot winds. Passing right in between the, of Scorpion Reef is what it is. Scorpion Reef. Golf record is 895, Rita. Wow. So this could be as strong as that. Jesse Bledsoe says, the energy is being spread out. That's probably what it is. But see, it's hard to predict. I mean, at this time, this is just guidance because the system has outperformed. So if this expands, it's very hard to say when that happens, but it wouldn't matter. This would be a Category 5 hurricane here. More like 160 instead of 195 mile an hour system. Keep in mind, look at the trends here. This has been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, so we don't know exactly how strong this will be exactly by this point in time. It's about nowcasting, so we have to kind of like look at it in real time, get Recon in there and be like, oh, okay, it is stronger than 910 millibars as of 03 Zulu Tuesday. You know? We don't have... Oh, we have the halves A that's coming in right now. Halves A is beginning to render, but our halves B is the only one that is furthest ahead. Is the leader of the pack to hour 15. And this is what it's showing right now. Yep, I'm on the latest frames of the halves B. Hour 15 I am on. I cannot go any further than that. And I can show you proof. I'm only up to hour 15. So we're just going to have to wait for more frames to come in. I know you guys are anxious of how strong this might be at landfall. Spaghetti models, please. All right, so I will look at the spaghetti model. Which, by the way, I wanted to show you all this. Look how many models now predict this of being a Cat 5. Cat 5 hurricane in the next 12 hours. So that says it all. So here it is. So here are the spaghetti models from Tropical Tidbits. And as we look at this, you can see that most of the models do bring this over Tampa Bay, Florida. So I wanted to show you guys this too, that some of the spaghetti plots, or most of the spaghetti plots that is over Tampa Bay, Florida. Tampa Bay, Florida in about 2.5 to 3 days. You mean sub 900? Well, sub 900. So that's under 900. Okay, sorry. Yes, it is officially a Cat 5. So yes, so the spaghetti plot here does indicate that Tampa Bay, Orlando, Florida, and then on the other side here of Florida, let's see where that is. I want to make sure I get my locations right. Daytona Beach. So yes, this whole area here is in some pretty big trouble right now, based on the latest spaghetti plot. From right about here all the way up to about here. This little narrow corridor, if you just look at a spaghetti plot standpoint, could get the worst conditions. Hurricane force winds all the way across the state of Florida into Orlando, Cape Canaveral, Daytona Beach, Titusville, Lakeland, Four Corners, Clearwater, Sarasota, Spring Hill. This corridor right here could be getting the worst impacts based on, if we just extrapolate and use the raw data and say, okay, we're going to base it off of 100% of the spaghetti plot. Tampa Bay would be seeing a historic landfall. Certainly. Should I leave Orlando? Again, please follow your local officials and local authorities. I cannot say if you should leave or not. I'm not going to go and say you should leave. No. I cannot make that decision for you. You have to follow your local officials, please. All right? Please, please, please. Because if I tell you you should, and then nothing big happens, then I could get in trouble. So please follow your local officials. I'm in Key Largo. So you're down over here. Yeah, then you're screwed. You're definitely in trouble. If this is taking a track like our spaghetti plots are showing, yeah, Key Largo and Largo area is in some pretty big trouble. Definitely some serious, dangerous trouble. GFS is rendering. Vex, thank you for letting me know, but honestly, at this point, I really don't. Not that I don't care about the GFS, but the GFS is not that important right now at this point, because it's going to show something that is not as strong. I want to make a bet. If I show you the GFS, yeah, look at 983 millibars. Like, really? Really? It's not 983 millibars. It does get it down to 951 all the way up until landfall, though. So it does show strengthening up until landfall, which is pretty concerning, to say the least. But what is more important right now is going to be those hurricane models. Everything with the hurricane models is what we need to look at, okay? So let's see what this shows. Yeah, look at it. Levels off at 910, 911 millibars. That is a Category 5 hurricane. Dixon Nass, I'm about to be blown off the map. You say, thank you for the $2 donation. Well, I understand where you're coming from with that. You're not going to be blown off the map. You're not. Just make sure you get prepared. Okay. I do pray for a lot of you guys. I just cannot fathom. I just cannot understand why this has to happen. Why 2 landfalls? I mean, Helene was much further north of Tampa. It was like over here, but still, Florida this year. Just Debbie. We had Debbie. We had now Helene. Now we have Milton. I mean, just not good. Not good at all. Oh, not good. I'm not gonna cry on stream, but man, I'm emotional. I am really emotional because your guys' lives here are at stake on this system. Really. I just cannot believe this is happening. I just cannot believe this. Oh, but unfortunately, we knew something like this would be in the cards because of how small this system is. By the way, if you guys do enjoy the content, please like the stream. Please like the stream. See, someone is saying we're starting to get a stadium effect. Now that's even more serious. That's even more serious. Stadium effect on this system. Wow, dude. Yeah, this is deeper. Okay, so in the next 27 hours, this is deeper. This is stronger by about a knot. So this is 161 knots. That is 185 miles an hour. So this could be a 185 plus mile an hour hurricane for the next 24 to 30 hours. We'll see what the next frames show. Someone saying HMON is coming in. Yeah, okay, so yeah, look at this. You're telling me the HMON is showing a 930 millibar system by this afternoon, when in reality it's stronger than that. So see, that's the thing. Not that the HMON, of course, any hurricane could show it mysteriously weakening by this time. But the fact is it's not showing reality. The halves B and the halves A are both showing reality here. But this does bring it down to 912 millibars. 912 millibars by this afternoon, or by tonight. So this does show strengthening even through tonight. Even so it's weaker to begin with, it shows that strengthening trend. Let's see the halves A model now. What does the halves A show us? Yeah, see, look at the halves A, 929 millibar. I'm locking onto the halves B right now just because it's the strongest and it's more in reality. It shows that strengthening on pace of what we're seeing. Not that I'm wishing for the halves B, but you have to look at initialization. All right, and I want to just tell you guys that. How did this system initialize? All right, so we're looking at, again, this is 8 in the morning. This is an hour and 45 minutes ago, and you got to look at different models. Which model has the best handle on this right now? Does the H-Warp have a good handle? Does the H-Mon have a good handle? Or does the halves A have a good handle? Or does the halves B? So you have to kind of look at that, and you all are going to say probably the halves B. So now, assuming that it's that strong, that's what the halves B is showing, how strong will it get and what will it look like down the road? So you have to look at it now and then use that as your forecast. But yeah, this is showing signs, though, of a stadium effect. This is very warm eye. Very warm. Actually, you know what? Let me see if we have a new Recon. Okay, they're going in. They're going in. You guys, we have to give a round of applause to the National Hurricane Center and their Recon mission. They're going in for another pass. This will be the 5th pass of their mission. So again, big round of applause. Big thank you to the Recon people that are out there risking their lives to flying through one of the strongest hurricanes possibly could be on record here. Could be on record. So they are on their way in. They are on their way in. And I could bet you they're going to find stronger winds because the stadium effect is now becoming evident. What is a stadium effect? Well, let me ask you this question. What is a stadium? Right? So if you think about a stadium, right? A stadium goes out, right? So let me look up an image here really quickly. So a stadium, guys been to stadium. Actually, this popped up. So this is more of a stadium effect right here, right? So this is not, of course, not, this is Hurricane Epsilon, but you can see how it looks like a stadium, right? You've got your kind of your lower seats, then you get your kind of nosebleed, and you kind of get another kind of like a little bit of a, you get a little tucked in area here, and then it kind of goes out. So that's your stadium effect, okay? And stadium effects are really bad. They are really bad, and you can see it right here too, more evident. This is what our hurricane looks like, I am assuming right now. Looks very much like this with that stadium effect. Literally, with that whole stadium effect. And I can't believe that's all cumulonimbus. Those are thunderstorms in every quadrant you could even think of. In every quadrant. In every quadrant. Maybe after this hurricane, they may need to add another category. We'll see if they do that, if they consider that in future hurricane seasons. Because, man, this could make it. This could do that. Come on, we need new frames. New frames, please. See what it looks like here. No new frames came in yet. So we only have our halves B that is furthest out right now. So a stadium effect is very bad. Because get this, the hurricane is so strong that you get your centrifugal force. Remember, you know, when you're on a ride, you know, if you're on a swing, you know the swings, you know, at a carnival or at an amusement park, you know why you get flung outward? Because of centrifugal force. And that's what this hurricane is exhibiting. When you get winds that are so intense and the system is so intense, you're actually flinging clouds outward, so you get this stadium effect. You actually do. And that's exactly what we're witnessing here. Yeah, look at that eye, though. I mean, shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Look at, you can even see definition. You could even see that stadium effect. Wow, this is very clear. This is very clear. Warhound said, get ready for your $750 donation. All right. Your ears can pop. They can pop, yeah. Well, essentially, it's like, actually, when you're going towards the center, it's like you're going uphill. It literally is, because the higher you go, the lower the pressure, right? Higher in vertical. That's why your ears get plugged up when you increase altitude, and and your ears get plugged up when you decrease altitude because of changes in air pressure. But wow, dude. Dude. Which, by the way, see these little clouds right here? See these streaking outward? I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you all can see that. See those? Winds are so strong up there that they're even radiating all the way out like this. So you're seeing flow like this all the way out from the hurricane. This is as symmetrical of a hurricane you can possibly get. Alert, your ears will explode. Not necessarily. You just got to keep on, like, going. This is a magic trick. If you guys want to know how to pop your ears to unplug them, go like this. And then what you'll do, you'll open up the I can't even say it, scientific word, but you'll open up the tube in there and your ear will pop and you'll be able to hear again. So a little secret on that. Come on, model render. Please, we need more frames. We need more frames. But yeah, this eye is definitely quite warm already. We have not had... Oh, yep, we're still getting new lightning strikes. Oh, yeah, we're still getting a lot of lightning, which, by the way, this is in real time, if you guys are wondering. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the live coverage on this for a little while, please don't forget to subscribe, like the stream, and also share this with your family and friends on social media. All right, please share this. By the way, I'll announce it later on. Actually, I'll announce it now. So after this live stream is done in the next couple of hours or so, I will be live again tonight. I will be live streaming because I get home from work at 7 p.m. The stream won't start until about 8 or 8:15 or even 8:30 because, of course, I've got to prepare the stream for you guys. And so we will be live on this for a few hours tonight. Update the title. Ooh, yeah. Milton reaches category 5 intensity near the Yucatan. All right, and actually I need to update I need to put this in there. Yes, I'm playing little cheaters weepers over here, but it's the best way to put in a more honest and accurate discussion. So, yeah. Did it update on your guys' in the title? Here we go. How big is this hurricane right now? Let's see. So the center is about right here. So I would say, oh, hold on. So I would say right now the center is about here, or about actually right about here. I would say it's about, the maximum winds are about 15 miles out from the center. Hurricane force winds based on the CDO appearance expand about 20 to 30 nautical miles out from the circulation. So yes, this is a very small system. Man, look at that eye though. Very small eye. Very, very small eye. So we got a new update. Oh, we didn't. I bet you I want to make a bet they'll update it again once new Recon mission gets in there. Plane is about to get in there, folks. They're about to get in there. They are about to get in there. The eye is about 5 nautical miles across. The eye size is about 5 nautical miles. Look at how high the pressure, well, the pressure is relatively high still. Only 999 millibars yet. And look how much it has to drop. All right. Hey, hi, David. Are you prepared to do marathon coverage? Bruce, I am ready to do that. It's about what time I start that? Probably early Wednesday morning, and we will probably be live for 15 hours. 15 hours, and I'm going to have to get help. I am not doing this alone. I'm going to need people alongside so I can take breaks and walk away and have someone talk, because this just got worse. This really did. And I think the new next Recon update, we will get those maximum wins. So we will get that information once it comes in. Come on, Havsby. You haven't rendered at all. These models stopped rendering, it seems like. Come on, Havsby. I know, Johnny. I know, bud. It's a Category 5. But based on the satellite presentation, this is looking very much like it has strengthened even more. Oh, gosh, yeah. Look at that eye now, that eye temperature. It's even warming up on the... Yeah, it's definitely warming up. See what our T numbers, oh my goodness, our T numbers are up to 7.3 right now. So 7.3 is about here. That's 155 knot winds based on the satellite intensity estimates. So wow. And pressure lower than 946. That's a given. That's definitely a given. This looks more like kind of like a Rita, kind of a Wilma kind of situation right now. Actually, let me bring up the live Recon mission onto here, actually. So let me go to Hurricane Hunters, 10 minutes ago. We're going to get a new update very, very soon, though. Very soon. Man, oh man. And there's no secondary wind maximum either. There is no secondary wind maximum surrounding the system. Which is bad, because what we would want to see is a secondary wind maximum, which means that the system is no longer intensive. Well, an eyewall replacement cycle would be imminent. We're not seeing that right now. It's moving east now. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's moving due east. So this, unfortunately, is going to be missing the Yucatan. And why do I say unfortunately? Is because this now could get uninterrupted. Because if this moved over the Yucatan, then the center could get would get disrupted significantly. And then the system would end up a lot weaker. But now it's untouched. Okay, let's see. Winds on the northwestern side are 135 knots. Central pressure down to 913 millibars. 913 millibars. Oh my gosh. 914. Actually, no, 913, because if we click on the plane right here, we actually click on the plane. No, it is 914. I said it was 913. So, and that is not the center yet. That is not the center yet. Oh my gosh. No, dude, this thing dropped another 10, 11 millibars. Jeez. Yes, this dropped 11 millibars, or even perhaps 12 millibars. That's even faster than the last fix. That's even faster than the last fix. Holy Toledo. And that is the weak, I don't want to say it's the weak side, but tends with the system going usually to the east here, this tends to be the weaker side. The fat side is more on the southeastern side. This is, you only need 12 millibars. You need at least 12 more millibars. This could go below 900. Wow. Man, dude, I woke up. And this was what the pressure was when I woke up this morning, thinking that, man, it's deepening a little bit faster. Wow, not like this now. This is really extreme. Oh. Wow, dude. Just wow. That's all I'm going to say. That's 150 knot flight level wind barb. Again, triangles. By the way, this is a great way to read wind speeds based on the flags. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a little lesson. Or actually not a lesson, but a little actually I'm going to explain it first, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a little bit of a quiz. So what these wind barbs actually are is it's wind intensity and it's wind direction. All right. So in simple terms, because we don't have any single marked barbs on this mission at all. So each barb, okay, let me make sure that's off. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a white barb up here. So when you have a white barb like this, and it goes out like this, all right, this is 10 knots. So let me type that up. 10 knots. So that's a little too big. Let me make that a little smaller. So this is 10 knots. Okay. And then when we get a smaller barb like this is 5 knots. Okay. This barb, this arm itself is your wind direction. So in this case, this would be a 40 degrees at 15 knots. Okay. For an example. Okay. Because that's northeast. The barb always points to where the wind is coming from. So the wind is blowing like this on this particular barb. Ignore all of this for right now. Just don't worry about it. We're focusing on how to read these things. So this is northeasterly flow at 15 knots, maybe plus or minus 1 or 2, because this is increments of 5 knots. But if you increase the wind a little bit more, okay, so if you increase the wind a teeny bit more, you would get another barb, and this would be another 10 knots. So then you can say the wind is northeast at 20 knots. So let me and I took it off. Darn it. But you get the idea. Okay. So this is 20 knots. This is 25 knots. 30 knots. 40 knots. Okay. Once you get past 45 knots, which looks like this, now the next thing you would look for is a triangle. So what we call a flag, not more like a barb anymore. It's a flag. Okay. This is now 50 knots. So we're going increments of 50. All right. And this would be 60 knots right here. So this would be 60 knots. This would be 65 knots. All right. Remember, it's only 5 and 10 increments with lines going out. Okay, if there's 2 flags, okay, 2 flags, that is another 50 knots. So, oops, why am I recording this? So then you end up with 100 knots. So your sum total, you're doing addition here. You're adding 50 plus 50 equals 100. So you're at 100 knots here. But the thing that we're seeing is 3 of these triangles. Okay? 3 of these triangles, which means another 50 knots. So this is 150 knots. So 3 flags right here, and I'm going to circle it in, right here is, if you just looked at a raw chart like this, this would be 150 knots. But the thing is, it could be 152 knots or 154 knots. But as long as it doesn't hit 155 knots, we are not going to have an arm sticking out. Actually, 155 would be half of a barb out below the 3 triangles. Okay, so that's kind of what that is. So you could look at this and say, okay, this plot showed 100 knot wind right here. Okay, this little barb right here. So you can look at this and be like, oh, okay, the most intense winds are where we have the 3 triangles. And the colors here correspond to a wind footprint. So you can see how winds are going up. They're going up and up and up and up and up and up and up to the very extreme. So there is no secondary wind maximum here. So we are not seeing something that looks like this and goes down and then up like this, which would indicate a secondary eyewall. Okay. We're not seeing that here. So did you guys learn from that? So, I'm going to just do a couple of quiz questions. And I'm going to draw it up on the screen here so you all can see this. Because this is a little weather lesson. This is that opportunity to show you all. So, what is this right here? What barb is this? All right, I will look at the halves B in a second. Really quickly, what is this wind barb telling you? The white wind barb. Don't worry about the Recon data yet. 10 knots? Someone said 20 knots. It's not 20 knots. It's 10 knots. Because again, our barb is maxed out. All right? 10 knots. Good. A lot of you got 10 knots. If you got 10 knots, you're correct. Now, what's this on the wind barb chart? I'm gonna give you a hint. It's half as long as what I just drew up. It's halfway shorter. 5 knots. Good. You guys got it correct. Now, here's a little challenge. Oops, let me draw one. Second to last one. What is this now? We have a triangle. What does a triangle mean? $50 knots? Good. Good job, you guys. You guys are quick learners, and I appreciate that. You guys were listening. So 50 knots. Now, one more. This is the last one. What is this? Gonna challenge you guys. One more. Okay. So, what's this one? I'm going to give you a hint. We have two flags. Okay? No, Okay, 100, 120. Good. You guys are on the money. You guys are on the money. So good job. You guys get a cookie for being correct. So there's your cookie. So that's how you read these things. You read these things by looking at just wind barbs. So now what we have here is, yeah, so we are down to 9, we went down to 914. So that is 11 millibars deeper. 11 millibars deeper. So on this right here, we have 155 knots. We have 155 knots because look at southeast, 3 flags, and 1/2 is 155 knots. So that's what it's showing. And going out here, is this the latest? This is the latest. 166 knots. So it is still consistent. 166 knots is 190 miles an hour. 190 miles an hour. So this is definitely stronger than it was earlier. This is definitely stronger. Wow, dude. Dude. It's very strong. So we're down to 914 millibars on this system. Again, I want to emphasize, before we move forward with our model here, this is stronger. Okay, the 18Z time frame is 11 o'clock, and it shows it here 918 millibars. So this system is outpacing the models again. Again, this is outpacing. This is 918 millibars at 11 in the morning. 11 in the morning, my time. This would be 2 in the afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time. And it assumes that, oh, it's going to be 917 or 918 millibars. We got 914 millibars. Okay. So going forward, let's see what it shows. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. No freaking way. No freaking way that's happening. 884 millibars. And winds peaking at about 175 knots. That is 200 plus miles an hour. 200 plus miles an hour. Dude, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think this is going to happen. It is possible, but... Oh my gosh, Havsby. Oh my gosh. This thing has another 48 hours. Another 2 days to intensify. Another little over, about 2 days to intensify. I don't believe this. I'm not believing any bit of this at all. I am not trusting this. That's really, really low. That is very, very low. Only 14 millibars shy of typhoon tips intensity. No mods here. We might need new mods or another mod. At this rate, I'll add temporary mods. Actually, we do have mods. We do. We're good. And Angela is there. Good job, Angela. Love you, sweetheart. You're awesome. So, I'm sorry I'm over-exaggerating, but come on. You can't... I mean, this is 200 mile an hour winds in miles per hour. In knots, it's not that. But golly word, this really weakens, though, before landfall on this model. It really does weaken. That inner core gets destroyed. But wow, if that shear wasn't there, if that wind shear was not there at the end of this forecast. I don't even want to begin to think how bad it would have been. That's just on one model, though. That's just on one model. But it still is intense. Man, dude. Holy moly. Holy moly. You know what? I'm going to look up on Twitter. And actually, I'm going to actually put this on Twitter. Hoot. What does it have A show? I'm curious. Come on. I bet Tropical Tidbits is overloaded. Frames are not loading very fast. This gets down to 9:04. This gets down to 9:04, 9:05, which again could be generous. It could be generous. But two of these models show a 900, low 900 millibar system. And this is slower. That's concerning. Slower and possibly stronger. That's a 933 millibar system. Wow. By the way, this still has a direct impact in Tampa Bay. This moves directly over Tampa Bay by Wednesday night. The halves A being a little slower. Oh, wait, yeah. A little slower. And don't assume that, oh, this is just nudged a little further south. I'm not worried. I'm worried about a landfall, but I really am not focused on exactly where this is going to make landfall right now, because we need to get to this point first. We really do. For one thing, will it even be this strong in the first place, which could guide and impact on exactly where it impacts? Because maybe a weaker storm will go north sooner versus a stronger storm, right? So, but that's holding together. That's really holding together a little bit. Man, that halves B unfortunately might come true. Let's hope it doesn't, but that is downright low. That is downright low. I wonder if they did. I don't think the NHC updated, did they? No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nope, they didn't. But I could bet you already the pressure drop does allow this to be a 170 mile an hour system. Based on the flight data, that concludes that. That really does. I wonder if other people are talking about this on Twitter. Wow, surprisingly, not many people really talking about this. Wow, right behind Wilma, and ahead of Maria, Andrew, and Felix. Jeez. Remember, that's what it was before. Actually, 925, 926 earlier, so it could have dropped at least almost 13 millibars. Golly word, that eye. That is a very clear eye. And the system now is moving pretty much due east. It is not moving south again. It's not moving just south of due east. I mean, look how compact this is. Look how compact this is. I mean, gosh. Hurricane force winds on this system only expand 24 miles out from the center. Only 24 miles out. That is incredible. It is almost like a little tornado. It really does look like that. And there it is, sky blue. It is sky blue now. It is sky blue. There is no clouds in the exact center. It is sky blue. And they did not find a secondary wind maximum, which means that there is no evidence of any secondary eyewall yet. No, there is not. You can see the flight data. There is no signs of any secondary wind maximum. It is very solid. Very, very solid. Very solid. You can see that. So, unfortunately, there is no eyewall replacement cycle, which would help this, which would weaken the storm. Gosh, the eye temperature now is 20 degrees Celsius. It is 20 degrees Celsius, this eye now. Actually, you know what? Based on the clearing, the eye may be about 75 or so degrees, 77 degrees. Jeez. Wow, wow, wow. Look at all the lightning happening in that, though. There is just so much lightning. But anyways, how are you all enjoying the live stream and the live coverage? Let's get our halves B update. Or no, wait. Halves A, right? Because halves A is... So this makes landfall in Tampa Bay. On this run, if you just look at this run, it makes landfall at 950 millibars. 950 millibars. That is still about a major hurricane intensity. So we're still looking at a major hurricane at landfall. And again, could be generous. Could be generous. I know you're not enjoying the stream. I should have not worded it that way. If you guys are finding this stream helpful, that's what I should. If you're enjoying the live updates, I should say if you're enjoying the detail, if you're enjoying the information that I'm providing, if you're finding this stream very helpful, please subscribe and hit the like button and share this live stream with their family and friends on social media. I will be live until about 11 o'clock. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're liking the details. But yeah, this is going right for Tampa on this model, and it makes, again, landfall around that Wednesday late night, borderlining Thursday morning. So again, that early 1 or 2 in the morning Thursday to as early as probably like 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time at landfall. How wide is it? How wide is our eye? Let's see. So our eye is About 5 nautical miles in diameter, at least. 5 nautical miles in diameter. So it is very small. It is quite small. It's freaking small, I do. I do agree with that. It is, small systems are very intense. But this is going to bring storm surge certainly to the Tampa Bay area. That's the concern still on this model run. Storm surge concerns still exist. And this moves over Florida overnight, Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, October the 9th and the 10th. I'm speechless. I'm so speechless right now that this thing is even a Cat 5. I thought after seeing it yesterday that it may not get its act together very well. I was at work and watching it back and forth. I'm like, man, it doesn't look like it's going to do something. But I woke up this morning and it did. It did what we did not want it to do. A forecast has unfortunately become reality. See the H-Mon. Let's see what the H-Mon is showing. Yeah, the H-Mon shows a 954 at landfall now. So we're in the 950s at landfall. That is weaker than, of course, 900-ish millibars, but still a very intense system. Very intense. And again, this could be generous. I want to make it clear. This shows weakening literally after 18 hours, which I highly doubt. Unless we get an ERC. Yeah, this gets down to 914 millibars in 13 and 15 hours. But again, it's already that deep. So the intensity, that's a category 3 at landfall. Yes, I'm based on what I'm seeing. It's going to be a category 3 at landfall. At least a category 3 or higher. Now let's see what the NHC does in their next update, which will be out really soon. Yeah, I do agree, Slayer 67. I do think it's going to be stronger. And that's what I don't want. I don't want to say it's going to be stronger, but again, nowcasting leads to a forecast, right? So if our system is 914 millibars, 915 millibars, I mean, 2 more millibar drop would get this down to 912 at this time, but I think it's going to be deeper than that. I think it is, because our eye is still warming. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This thing is nasty. Next update will be 165. Very well could. Very well could. Check the dropsondes. I will. Hold on. Yeah, it looks like this is now turning a little more east, and it's headed more kind of east, slightly just north of due east. So it's headed like 89 degrees bearing right now is where it's headed. Check the dropsondes. Someone keeps on asking me check the dropsondes. Get out of here. Get out of here. 912 millibars. That is lower than the extrapolated pressure. Oh my gosh. So that is a drop 2515. Got to do math on this one. I think it's like 13 millibar drop in pressure. in an hour, I want to repeat in 1 hour. Probably, yeah, it might be down there already to 900 millibars. Who knows? 925 minus 912. Actually, to account probably the clearing eye, again, assuming, because again, it's dropping so fast, we got to assume. So it's about 911 millibars. It has dropped 13 to 14 millibars in 1 hour. 13 to 14 millibars. There it is on the phone, right there. That, I mean, look, it was literally 9:47 this morning, and literally it's down to as low as 9:11. $35 millibar drop in pressure from the beginning. Yeah, not 35 to 36 millibars. That's a 35, 36 millibar drop in pressure in 5 passes. Those are hourly fixes. So in 5 hours, it has dropped that much. That is quite intense. And the system is beginning to move. Actually, it's moving directly east on this latest fix. NHC went 175. No, they did not. They did not go 175. They did not go 175. They did. 911. There it is. 911. It dropped. It has dropped 14 millibar. Almost 15 millibars. Almost 15 millibars. There it is, 911. What did I tell you guys? 911. 911 millibars. I mean, I started this stream 2 hours ago. And 2 hours ago, it was only at 9:35. Remember? We did that. We started it at 9:35, and now it's 9:11. And you don't want to know what 9/11 stands for? 9/11, the World Trade Center. And what a coincidence. It is moving more directly due east. It probably is still wobbling a little bit over. But golly word, dude. Wow. And by the way, NHC does explicitly show Milton explosively. So there is rapid and then there's explosive. And I think explosive intensification happens when pressures drop at least 30 millibars or 25 millibars in 4 or 5 hours. I don't know what the official definition for that is, but explosively is being used here. 175 mile an hour winds. And I want to make it clear. Do you see on this intensity forecast, do you see anywhere where it says 175 on this? This is from the earlier advisory. Pat, I need you to join immediately. You need to get your butt in here.
You're talking about it in your stream right now, but this is the strongest hurricane since Dorian of 2019.
Actually, it's on pace of being stronger or as strong as Wilma.
Yeah, I've seen it. Hello, everybody. This is Pat's Pathbricker. David, just for context, I'm not going to be on for too long because I have stuff to do, but I want to make some points very quickly because, first of all, I see you pulling up the forecast. We're already blasting past the forecast discussion from 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I'm watching. And they tagged another AOI off the coast of Florida, which I think is kind of hilarious, but...
What? What?
Yes.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did. I'm not kidding.
Let me see this.
But we should focus on Milton because that's obviously going to be the greatest effect of what's going on. So basically, this is smaller than Andrew, just for context. For those who do not know how large this system is, this is a little smaller than Hurricane Andrew in 1992. And basically, what I've been watching with this is this system has been bottoming out. Basically, in the last 4 recon passes, we went from 947, 943, 935, 925, 911.
Which, by the way, the rate of intensification, which is the pressure drop between the fixes, the fourth fix, between the fourth and the fifth fix, the pressure has dropped the quickest, not at the beginning. Yep. So it's going down. So basically the intensification is going down like this. So we're seeing it go like that. So it's strengthening faster with each recon pass.
Yes. I don't know how sustainable that is, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Already we're at 175, which is absolutely scary. I know some models want this to get up to 190, want this to get up there. Personally, I think the ceiling for this is 180, 185. Mainly because there's something Tristan's been talking to me about that he's been kind of mentioning to me.
What is
this system is expected to undergo what is known as a merger eyewall replacement cycle, where this is what Barrel did. So what a merger eyewall replacement cycle is basically an eyewall starts to develop on the outer fringes of it. But then it's only forms partially because pretty much the inner eyewall and the outer eyewall kind of start moving towards each other to meet and form a relatively new eyewall. And it doesn't weaken the storm that much, but it can really expand the storm in size. What Barrel did before it made landfall in the Windward Islands was a merger eyewall replacement cycle. I could easily see it on the Barbados radar, and after it got done, it intensified again. So right now, I think we're gonna be seeing a plateau of around 180, 185. Undergoes the merger, weakens down to 175, and then maybe it gets back up to 180 once again. The main question now is, when is the wind shear going to get involved? And based on what I'm seeing, it's not going to happen until it gets past towards Western Cuba. So we probably have another, I'd say, 24, 36 hours of this going on.
It's not good.
That's problematic. And the worst part about this system is, at least according to the National Hurricane Center track, is heading for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
The good news is wind shear is going to start chipping at the structure of it, but it's still going to be a Cat 3 or Cat 4 at landfall.
Yeah.
The best hope we have right now is this system pushes far enough south that it doesn't hit Tampa Bay, because that would be catastrophic if it did.
Oh, yeah. All right. My sister is in the chat, and she was wondering. Sorry, Megan. I didn't want to interrupt Pat there. So, hey, is there a chance that the storm changes and goes more north? There is a slight potential of that. And the only way that would happen is if we get an eyewall collapse. In other words, the half of the eyewall literally just collapses. And it might actually yank the storm a little bit further to the north. There are players at bay here. So the reason why the system is moving to the east in the first place is because we have a little bit of a trough that is helping to yank the system a little eastward right now. But then there's going to be another system, another trough that is going to develop right here. And where the system is located in relation to this trough is going to help to pinwheel the system up towards the northeast, towards Tampa Bay. It could go as far north as northern Tampa Bay or just north of it, but I do not see this hitting, say, Pensacola or Panama City, Florida.
It won't go that far north.
No, but once this gets into Florida and it goes northeast, will it continue going northeast? No, it should bend back a little bit to the east, and the reason why that happens is because, well, you get the background westerly flow. So you have this flow in the back that's going to usher in more of a push on this. So what you're seeing here is the system's steering influence, and there's a ridge here, by the way, at 200 millibars. Remember, our system's vortex is very tall, so it's going to feel the 200 millibar flow too. And what you have here is it's going to butt up against this ridge and go northeast. And then once this flow in the back hits it, it's going to go back more to the east after it hits Florida. So no, there is no chance that this is going to head towards Maryland. There is no chance that this is going to go towards the New England coast at all. I don't see that happening in this scenario.
All right.
Right now, it's just a Florida landfall, just really going to be pretty isolated, maybe getting some impacts up here in South Carolina, but it's really going to be in Florida is where the impacts will be greatest. I mean, potentially, as what Pat was saying, maybe catastrophic impacts if this does head towards Tampa and it doesn't weaken as quickly as what some of our models are showing. But one other thing, Pat, I wanted to show you this. Did you see the halves? Did you see the halves B model?
Yes, the one that goes down to the 880s.
Yes.
I don't trust it right now. I need to see how this eyewall replacement cycle pans out first before I hop on the bandwagon.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not buying that right now. Although we're already at 911 millibars. Sub 900 is possible, but we need to see how this evolves. And one thing I do want to point out, you did mention this earlier about potentially the eyewall collapsing and driving the system further to the north. That's not necessarily how that works. Yes, you were correct about the trough, but there's something called Coriolis force. Basically, in layman's terms, the stronger the hurricane is, the further north it typically will push. That's because of the Coriolis force. What Coriolis force tends to do is drive non-frontal storms like these away from the equator and towards the poles. And obviously, north is towards the pole in this case. We're not in the southern hemisphere. So the stronger the system, typically it's the further north it will go. So I thought I'd point that out very quickly. You were correct about the trough because that's what's going to drive this towards Tampa Bay if it gets that far north. I'm praying it doesn't. But the reason for that, in terms of the eyewall collapsing, it's the reason it goes further north is because of Coriolis. So I thought I'd tell you guys that. So
good.
I hope you guys didn't mind.
Yeah, good illustration. Yeah, but also the outflow channel might yank the storm a little north. So you got that outflow too.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, I want to see what this looks like on Weather Bell because they have it in miles per hour. I really want to see this because I don't think you're going to see this ever again on a model. Hopefully never again. Let's see what this... All right. So, don't believe this, Pat, but this does get up to 200-mile-an-hour sustained winds in 42 hours on the halves B.
There has never been a hurricane in recorded history that has gone up to 200 miles per hour in the Atlantic.
I know. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's... I'm not betting on anything at this point. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just saying. I'm just warning you. There's always that non-zero chance, and then, of course, it weakens. Let me see the wind gusts. Oh my gosh, Pat. Wind gusts reach 200, as high as 220 miles an hour on this.
That I believe.
Oh boy.
What I will tell you, and what I will tell the rest of the audience right now, is this is a rapidly escalating situation. And until the system levels off, we don't know what's going to happen. Right now, this is one of those scenarios where we're going to have to absolutely nowcast it. We're going to have to wait for the recon to go in. We have another mission going out right now from Tampa Bay, heading over there. Mission 8's finished. Mission 9's going out right now. But 912 millibars, we're finding 175 mile per hour winds in this system.
Pat, I think that's an upper level drop zone mission.
Okay. Well,
it's an upper level drop zone mission.
Well, I hope they get another mission in there. I understand it costs $300,000 to $400,000, but when you have a hurricane of this strength, you need to get all the resources you can out there to get to see what's going on, especially if it's going to be affecting people, because this is pretty much the equivalent to an EF4 tornado.
Oh yeah, man! Look at all the lightning on this, Pat. Just incredible barrage of lightning.
It's been going on for the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
All right, this is beginning to make the jog slightly north of due east now.
Yeah, I'm seeing it as well. Look at that buzzsaw structure. That's insane.
Golly, word.
What was Katrina's lowest pressure, Megan? It was 905. It was either 905 or 902. It was one of those two.
Wow.
Right now we're at 911. Let's see.
Could be pressure. A little
902.
It could be generous. That's why I want Recon. We need it. We need it now.
This is pretty much a similar pressure to Dorian.
Yeah, it is actually. Yep.
Yeah, Dorian was 910, 911, 909. It depends on what you're looking at, but we're at 175. This is unbelievable. All right. I got to get going. David, I hope that I helped you out a little bit with that, but I have stuff I need to get done. So yeah, my plan is I'm going to get a video out in a couple of hours. Then I'm going to stream tonight. And David, if you're not still streaming, you're more than happy to come on as a guest. Letting you know.
Oh, I'm going to be streaming tonight after work. Once I get home from work, I will be streaming on this, just like I did.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just thought I'd offer.
Oh yeah. You'll be streaming when I live stream. So yeah, you won't be able to make it then, but that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get as many people informed about this as possible. But at the same time, I want to make this perfect 100% clear. We cannot be panicking. Like, everyone at Storms United was freaking out about this morning. And I hate to call out my guys like this, but we need to remain calm, especially in these scenarios right here. This is a very serious situation. But we need to remain calm, get prepared as quickly as we can. And do our best. And if you are told to evacuate, get out. Panicking makes things 1,000 times worse. We do not need a mass panic. I understand that this is 175 mile per hour Cat 5. I know it's scary, but we cannot panic right now. We need to remain calm. Prepare. If you're in Florida and you are in an evacuation order, evacuate. That's the best advice I can give. Do not panic. Remain calm. Thank you, everybody. I'm turning it to David. Stay safe.
Thank you, Pat, for tuning in.
Yep. See you later.
Yep. So, at this point, we're not gonna panic. We have to now cast this and just pray that this thing weakens sooner rather than later. How long will you work? 4 hours, Megan. I work 3 to 7 today. Darn it. I wish I didn't work today, but I do work. But it'll be timed perfectly because I will go live tonight. Once I get home, I'll be back in this chair and we're streaming this for 4 hours. No, at least 4 or 5 hours. Just like we did today. All right? Because this is a serious situation. I mean, look at, you could see the eye from very far away. You can still see it. It is very evident. I know. Diana, your husband is a weather expert, right? I don't want to say his name because I don't want to bring any names out there. But what is your husband thinking about this? What is his thoughts on this? How strong does he think this could get? Because it's 175 now. Can you call off? I can't. Because if I have to call off tomorrow, I don't want to call off 2 days in a row. All right. Oh, really, Megan? Nice. Grayson. By the way, Megan, guess who we have at my work? Their name is Grayson as well. He works in the deli, though. He works in the deli department. And his name is Grayson. And I told my coworker, Grayson, that guess what my nephew's name is? It says, what is it? And I told him, it's Grayson. I said, whoa, that's so lit. But yeah, it's 175 mile an hour winds, pressure down to 911 millibars. This has dropped 36, 37 millibars in about 5 hours. Call out, David. Say, Mission 9 into Milton is... Okay, so it is a low-level mission. Are you sure it's a low-level mission? I don't think so. I don't think it is a low-level mission. Let me check, though. Let me check on Google Earth. Because I know they're doing 2 upper-level surveillance missions. Which, at this point, we really don't need that. We really do need recon out there, like low-level recon. Yup, it's Gonzo. This is it right here. This is the mission. I could tell because their flight path, they took straight out and then they went like this. So it's Gonzo. Actually, Megan, that could be your nickname. I like nicknaming people sometimes. And she can be Gonzo. I can just see Megan be named Gonzo. Just quit and do this full time. I wish I can do this full time. I wish. I mean, honestly, I could call out today because guess who called out yesterday? 3 of the courtesy clerks that were... Actually, 2 of them that were supposed to be there. Actually, wait. No. 1 or 2 of them called out. I can't remember, but yesterday was not a good day. There were call outs. I could do the same thing, but I don't want to be that person. Okay, to call out over a hurricane. No. I don't want to be like... Actually, I could, though, but I don't want to risk getting in trouble. I'm not getting fired because I call out. By the way, there's really not much new to update on. There's no new recon out there right now. There really isn't, other than Gonzo. I don't know if you got that, Megan, if you're still watching. Tell your job you have chlamydia. I'm not gonna lie. That is not what a... Don't like talking about my religion, but that's not what a Christian does. We don't lie. Yes, I may have lied in the past, but that was in the past. This is the future, and I'm not going to lie to my work saying I actually have a serious disease, which I don't. So, you guys could call out. I mean, well, you're not me, though. I understand you guys want me to stream all day. That makes me more stressed out. But, I mean, I'm not, I just can't. I just can't. I work at Safeway. So I work at a grocery store. And if you don't believe my work schedule, I can show it to you guys right now on camera. It's a little blurry, but I can literally tell you guys, I'm not trying to get away from streaming. I don't want you guys to feel that way. This is my schedule today. This is Monday. Right there. 3 to 7 is my work schedule, is my day today. And then tomorrow, it is 4 p.m. to 8. Okay. I mean, if I have to call out tomorrow may be the day to do it. I may actually call out tomorrow, which means I don't want to call out today, because if I call out 2 days in a row, then they're going to... I just, you know. There is still a lot of lightning with this. Still a lot of lightning with this. All right, so we got all of our hurricane models in, finally. Our H-Wharf is finally in. And right now, this makes landfall at around 940-ish millibars. That is pretty strong. This would be a category, almost a category 4 hurricane at landfall. And you can see it right here. Tampa Bay getting the strongest winds. Getting the strongest winds in Tampa Bay with that eyewall. Well, whatever eyewall's left. I don't think there's not much. Yeah, there's a little bit of an eyewall left. So you would be getting hurricane force winds, and the storm surge with this would be substantial. It would be very, very... It would not end well. This still has the ability of causing some serious, possibly historic damage, depending on how strong this actually is. Joey C., you work at Safeway? I mean, Safeway in California, they're owned by Albertsons. So you may be thinking of a Safeway like a little... Because I looked up on Google, Safeway, there's like a store named Safeway somewhere. I forgot where it was. But I'm talking about a grocery store like it's owned by Albertsons. I love you guys. You guys are my heroes. I care every bit of you guys. But I have a life too. My life is not going to be on a... I mean, I'm taking 15 hours out of my day on Wednesday to live stream. Up to 15 hours if needed. So, I mean, that's dedication there alone, you know. But I'll tell you, if I didn't work, I would be streaming at least until noon. Because, again, there's no recon, there's no new data to report on. We know it's 175 right now. And it's probably going to stay that way until we get new recon data in there anyways. So, the only thing you could really look at is visible and estimate at your own will. But it does look like... Okay, I thought that was like a little bit of cloud cover that was getting in. But yeah, the eye is very intense still. Definitely. Look how small that is, though. Very small. It's very small. Thank you so much, Diana. Any eyewall replacement cycle? No, there is no sign. According to the latest Recon data, there was no sign of any secondary wind maximum. There is nothing with the secondary wind maximum. The NOAA aircraft is a gonzo mission. All right, I want to make it clear, folks. They may drop Zonds inside the eye. I don't know how they're going to do that. But they're going to do this whole kind of flight pattern. So this plane right now is 47,000 feet right now. It is, or 39 to 40,000 feet. And they're still ascending. So this is not a low-level mission. This is a gonzo G4 aircraft. And what this does is what they're trying to do is trying to correct the models, collect research data, and they'll probably do a pass like this and do something like this, and then they'll go around and then kind of go out like this, come around and exit like that. Okay. And what they're doing is feeding the data, humidity, air pressure, and wind data into the models so the models could better correct. Okay. That's what they're doing that for. So this is a very important mission, but not important for like a recon mission going to be inside of a hurricane. Thank you, Freckles83. I do appreciate that. I really do. Oh, you work at a Safeway grocery store in Maryland. Checker and teller. Nice. Nice. I wonder what your schedule is like this week. I wonder which days you work. I'm Joey C. Yeah, it's flight level 41,000 now, yes. So they're flying really high. So it's not a low-level mission. Unfortunately, it isn't. But we will get new missions in there. Hopefully, I'm hoping they'll get new missions in there. Let me look at their schedule, though, to see when the next mission or how often they'll do this tomorrow. I think they did update this. Yes, they did. Yep. They moved this forward. So continue 3 hourly fixes. This is pretty much today's update. And then they're going to continue 3 hourly fixes on the storm the next day. So we'll have 5 missions out onto this. And it looks like all of them, except for one, will be all low-level missions. So today is probably the most intensive day, and maybe even tomorrow. But this is what they're doing right now. Yeah, so they're here right now. So this is their first mission of the day. I know it's a little offset. And then flight number 2 will be a NOAA 42 mission. That will be a low-level dropsonde mission into the system. And they are going to be taking off. Hold on, you guys. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. So what we're seeing here is the first mission is the upper level, and then we'll have 2 missions into the system tonight, just like we had this morning. And then they will continue doing that throughout the time. So Believe me, we're gonna get new recon data in there before long. We will. All right, well, I think that's really going to discuss, and that's all I have to say. The impacts, the complete advisory is not out until about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Do you guys have any questions before I head off? Because we know this is a 175 mile an hour hurricane. Any questions? What's up, Alex Miller? How are you doing? Welcome. Look at this hurricane, Alex Miller. Look how small it is. Yeah, also hit the like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Good gravy. You can watch them live on Tropical Tidbits. So, but I like Cyclonic WX is where you can go to watch them live. You could also get the Radar Omega app, and I think it's for beta. Let me see what subscription I even have. Yeah, so I think it's in beta version and higher, or maybe it's in all tiers where you can get the recon data. So all you have to do is go to the little hurricane icon right here on Radar Omega, and then this will pop up with a window. Okay, so right here, go to Hurricane Hunters, where it says Hurricane Hunters, and then there will be a list. Look for the one that was 10 minutes ago, which is the latest one. All right, and this will display and overlay their mission, where they have what they have been doing. This is where you can see it live. It updates every 10 minutes. All right. That's the latest mission right there. You're very welcome, Angela. I do appreciate it, folks. And again, I will be live tonight. So if you have not subscribed yet and turn on the bell notification icon, I would really highly recommend you do that. Now is the time to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon and like the stream. Because we will be live tonight again at around, hopefully as early as 8:30. Because I have to come home from work, get situated, and then we will be live streaming on this. But I love you guys. Again, the stream is slated between 8 p.m. and 8:30-ish. All right, I don't want to be in a rush to get home to try to get this out as quickly as I need to drive home safely. And I don't want to be worried and just have anxiety or anything like that, okay? But I will be live tonight. I will. It is a Category 5 hurricane, 175 mile an hour winds, for sure. You're very welcome, Angie's car. I'll see you, see you tonight, James. See you tonight. You're very welcome, Susan. I love you guys so much. I appreciate all the support. And again, you need to share this with your family and friends. Share my channel with who you know, because again, we're going to be live tonight to discuss the same thing, what our recon is showing, what our hurricane models are showing. Because I'm telling you right now, the HAVS-B is by far the most serious model that you can think of. And wow, look at the last frame here. This is really clear now. Look at the eye. Really clear now. Sky blue eye. So it's about 75, 78 degrees Fahrenheit in the eye right now. Tell your job you have a job. Maybe tomorrow. I will, you know what? Katie, which is one of the best managers I have ever met, I'm going to ask her tonight if I could miss tomorrow. But I need to be honest. I'm not going to say I'm sick. I'm not feeling good. I have to be honest. Okay, I'm not getting in trouble. I'm not getting written up because I lied. All right. The eye is opening up. No, it's not. No, the eye is not opening up. Player. It is not opening up. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate it. All right, anyways, folks, thank you for tuning in to this hurricane live discussion. Actually, you know what? Before I go, I wanted to look at the Euro. Don't go yet. Don't go. I wanted to show you all the Euro really quickly. Yeah, look at the Euro even has this at a hurricane at landfall. But it's still generous. Look at that. Still really generous. But of course, it's not a hurricane model, so keep that in mind. But yeah, this is going to be a significant weather event for Florida. All right. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in. Please be safe. Please be safe. Please don't panic. Please don't panic. I will be on tonight again at around 11 o'clock tonight Eastern time, 8 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. All right, don't forget, 11 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Pacific time, somewhere around there. All right, but anyways, take care. Thank you for watching. Share, like, and subscribe, and I'll be back with you tonight on major, life-threatening, super catastrophic, apocalyptic Hurricane Milton. Peace out, folks.